Hello everybody. I thought I'd just do a little intro to this video because it's a little bit special to me. I think I'm going to do a series called In My Father's Footsteps, and I'll tell you why. Those of you that have been following me for a long time will remember my dad. I've got lots of vlogs including outings and trips with him over the years before he passed away at the age of 90 in 2020. What you might not know is that he was a Munro completer. Munros, if you don't know, are the mountains in Scotland that are over 3,000 feet. There are 282, and if you bag the lot, you're known as a completer. My dad kept logbooks of all of his adventures from about the age of 14, and we've kept them all. That was one of the things that me and my brothers said would be very important, to keep Dad's logbooks. They're all safely here in this box, and from the age of 13 or 14 he kept these logbooks. This is logbook number 1, 1943, and I decided that I would catalogue all the different Munros that he did, and I realised shortly after we did the West Highland Way last year that he had done his first 4 Munros in July 1944. So I said to Ben, wouldn't it be so cool if we did those first 4 Munros 80 years to the day? So, having completed the West Highland Way in May, and we did Ben Nevis as well, we planned a second trip to Scotland in July. This is us arriving in Dundee, where my parents grew up, and we drove past their school, the Morgan Academy, and then we headed up to Glen Clover and Glendole. Cooking
leeks to go with these Scots pies.
Wow.
Really looking forward to having. They're warm.
We're tucking into our pies
River down there.
and enjoying an amazing view. So that's where we've parked up, but we're just coming out for a stroll, and
I got my hat on because I'm just cold. My hands got
not that cold, and we are walking towards the hills that we're supposed to be climbing up tomorrow. And
You can't see them because they're on the tide.
this is what we can see. Obviously that would be far too dangerous, so we're just hoping that everything clears tomorrow and Sunday. Sunday's the big day. We want to be able to do some big climbs. Beautiful river, and we're just looking at this hillside that's full of rabbit burrows. A rabbit warren hill. So today is the 13th of July 2024.
Saturday the 13th, not Friday the 13th.
Yeah. And 80 years ago, my dad and his chums, who were in this little club called the Wanderlust Club, came to Glen Clover, which is where we're just a little bit further down the glen from.
Right here.
Glen Clover and Glendole, to climb their first Munros. They'd done quite a few trips before, and we are attempting to do the same 80 years later. On the 13th of July, they didn't do the Munros they were hoping to do because of the weather, which could be the same today, couldn't it?
It's touch and go, isn't it?
Yeah. So as they did 80 years ago, we're kind of doing a little scouting trip today. We'll see, just get familiarised with the lie of the land. We don't have any phone signal, so we don't know what the weather forecast is.
Or maps.
Well, we have got an OS map downloaded on my phone. As long as my phone doesn't run out of charge, because we've mislaid the battery pack. But it's 90% charged at the moment, so it should be okay. And the other thing is we might get signal as we go further up in the glen. It might just be in this little dip. So we're hoping for the best.
It's what did you say, a 16-mile walk, something like that?
The one.
So it's not sort of it's not impossible, but it's
that's the one that includes the Munros, which we're hoping to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
We could do a shorter walk that doesn't include the tops and the Munros, but it could be just as treacherous with the weather if we're not careful.
Yeah, we don't get lost in cloud. That's
Yeah.
or too wet.
Yeah, so we're going to very much have safety in the forefront of our minds, but we also want to have an adventure.
Yeah, let's get up there.
The sun was shining as we set out on our journey, with boots tied to our carriers with bits of string. The plan was to cycle to Clover on Wednesday, climb up Jock's Road from Glendale Lodge, over Crow Craggies, across to Tolmont, Tombury, Myre, Dreesh, and so down into the Glen of the Dole and the Lodge, where we would have left our bikes, and cycle back to the hostel on Thursday, and cycle home on Friday. But here's the tale of what actually happened. The bread we bought at the co-op in Kerry, that's Kerrymuir, was tied onto my carrier with string which Sclatter happened to have in his pocket. We left Kerry via the King's Gate and soon left Coldhame Foods far behind. Just before rounding the corner, which would bring us within sight of Cortachy War Memorial, we climbed up onto the bank to have a snack. We continued on our way until we reached the hostel, where we clubbed our food together and had a good meal. The hostel was not crowded, so no snores disturbed our slumbers when at last we went to bed. I woke up at 7:30 and one glance out of the window was enough to show that there would be no climbing high mountains for us that day. The mist was down to the 1500 level. Let's go. So we're setting off from the visitor centre and we're just going to see what we're going to do today. We might do the Munros today, or as we're setting off quite late because it's about 10:30, I think we're just going to go up to the Bila and take it from there. We're following Jock's Road, going to the Corrifi Trail. So we seem to be being diverted from the original Jock's Road because of the forestry work. We're just following the crowd. Just crossing the River Esk, I think, and spotted some harebells. We've come to the end of the wood bit and we've just come to a little bridge over the river. Just going to have a look and see if we need to go over the bridge to stay on Jock's Road. So we're pretty sure, there's no notice, but we're pretty sure that crossing the bridge leads us to continue onto Jock's Road. just come up quite a steep bit where the path was really more like a stream, isn't it? There you can see it's just like, that's the river and we came up through there. Now we're crossing the stream, Ben's just about to fall in. It's just so pretty. We've arrived at a little sheltered bit, which is a little kind of dip with the mountains around us. Quite boggy looking, isn't it? But so sheltered, peaceful. And we're going to go up there somewhere. And
Up here?
no, not that way. I think we go up there. Let's have a look at the map. All these little alpine plants. Just so pretty. Cereal bar. It is about 12:30, but I think it's too early for lunch, and still haven't decided whether we're going to do the Munros or not. We'll just see how long it takes to get to the top of this beeline. Then we might have lunch there and then go back again. Spotted Davy's Burak, and then we turned around and saw this cairn. I'm not quite sure what this peak is, but let's go up to it. Cheese and oatcakes and dried mango. I think we've got a couple of apples as well, and there's a couple more cereal bars.
We're going to fight over this.
And we've decided we're definitely not doing the Munros this afternoon. It's already 3 o'clock and you can't see anything, so there's no point. But this is a Munro top. This is Crow Craggies.
My first Munro.
Munro top.
Top.
Your first Munro you've already done, which is Ben Nevis. And we'll just head back down the way we came, which was lovely anyway, wasn't it?
Yep.
And we'll be facing the right way to get all the beautiful views.
And we'll film lots of things like flowers.
We had lunch up there, Crow Craggies. And some of the cloud has just lifted in the other glen. It looks incredible. Back down to Glendale, and there's no wind and everything looks different from this direction. This is the boggy bit that we came through before, so we need to watch our step. I think we made the right decision not to do the Munros today, and it's definitely orientated us to the whole environment. We'd need to get started really early tomorrow if we're going to do it, and just pray that the weather is not like this with clouds over the Munros that we want to do. It's been a really good day so far. We're stopping to do lots of filming. We've just done some drone shots, so that's slowing us up, but we're hopefully going to get back to the van around 6 and have a hot meal, find somewhere to park for the night, and then it'll be really good to get going by about 7 tomorrow, but realistically it'll probably be 8. We're coming back down into Glendale and Jocks Road, which we can see from there, and then back to that forest, and then back to the van. And I hope we get back by about 6. Gardens. Like somebody's planted it all and laid it all out.
Incredible.
Little bubbling streams in between. Lovely day, and I think we're about an hour from the van now, and then we're going to cook dinner. And back over this bridge, that's part of the redirection of Jocks Road. And we're back at 5 to 7. Back at the van and replenishing our energy resources.
Liz has made this amazing cockabell with broccoli and new potatoes and chicken and mushrooms and onions, and amazing.
Yum. We're just getting our final bits ready for our hike and climb today, and we've got a very nice park for night spot with a fantastic view, and we're hopefully going to be setting off just after 8. We've got about a 2-minute drive to the car park, and then we'll be off.
We're ready. It's lovely day today. We might. Feeling good? Feeling pumped. That started. Business.
The next morning, the mist was not so bad as we set out on our bikes for Glendale Lodge. We reached the huge house, having to pass through a gate bearing the notice, "Trespassers will be prosecuted," in faded lettering, and they let us put our bikes in a box room along a stone passage. After changing our boots, we set along a grassy path through the woods which surrounded the lodge. We were soon out of the wood and on a stony path leading up the glen. This is the start of our trail for today. Get in the shot. And we're only leaving 10 minutes after we planned, which is pretty good.
So we're going to walk a little bit faster for the first bit, just to catch up on time.
And we are still 2 hours 20 minutes ahead of yesterday, so we should get the whole thing in time. Still get back in time for the football, maybe.
How are you feeling about this morning, Liz?
Very exciting, very motivated because of the weather.
The sun's out, which means we can actually see the top of the mountains here, that way. Which means when we get to the top of the mountains, we better look down and see incredible views. We hope it holds.
Well, we are just stunned by the weather. How amazing is this? Oh, so happy. The sun is shining so much. You can see our shadows. All the tops are clear of clouds. Oh, so amazing. I'm stunned by how lucky and blessed we are today for this hike and climb. Couldn't have wished for anything more.
Well, I saw this yesterday but didn't film it. This is a massive, curly, fluffy caterpillar. Beautiful. And a really nice view. Up and down.
The huge mass of Craig Melon on our right, and on our left Dreesh, Myar, Corrie Fee and the Craig Maud and Craig Rennet crags were only the essential features of a magnificent view, which soon grew to include waterfalls, cascades, chutes and fearsome rocky castles as we moved slowly up the glen. Further up, Jock's Road started climbing zigzag through scree patches and the like, always maintaining the same surface of stones and rocks. Just so blessed by the weather. Look at the blue sky behind us. How are you feeling so far?
A lot hotter than yesterday.
Yeah, we had our raincoats on yesterday at this point. When we passed through the patches of boulders and debris, like scree, it made us wonder how the rock was flung aside to allow the path to go on. We gradually rose higher and higher, past burns and waterfalls and bonny heather. It was more toady than foggy, isn't it?
How does this compare to yesterday, Liz?
Well, we're sunbathing today and we were sheltering from the rain yesterday.
Have we heard? And we are here 2 hours earlier than yesterday, so which means we've got time to do the complete walk. Which I'm glad we didn't do yesterday, no? Because if we'd done it yesterday and it'd come to today, we'd going, oh, we should have done it the day after, the proper day. This is the proper day your dad did it.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
14th of July 1944. My dad did it, and this is 80 years to the day.
This is it.
And it's mirroring very much what my dad and his mates did. They did exactly what we did yesterday, and the weather wasn't good enough to do the tops. And then the following day, today, it's all clear.
The only thing we're not quite sure about is that when they finished the walk, they came off the mountain on a steeper bit, I think, or something.
We're gonna stay safe, I think. I think they were a bit shocked when they got to the bottom, so I think we'll play it safe. All of this was in mist and cloud yesterday. So it's so nice hiking through and actually seeing where we are, isn't it? We're just surveying the land. We couldn't see any of this yesterday. When we topped the first commanding rise and saw our primary objective, Croagh Craggies, with Tolmont and Tombuie, and an insignificant little bump it looked from where we were standing, rising in the background. And we think Tolmont is behind this one. We think this is Tombuie and Tolmont is behind it. So we'll come from Croagh Craggies to Tolmont, then Tombuie, and then 5 miles over to Mayer, and then over to Drish. So we better crack on.
Let's get walking. Liz has got a good signal up here, picking up all the messages, checking the weather for the next 24 hours. And this is a little cairn. Is that what you call them? I have a rock stone to put on top of the cairn, which is useful for guiding you when it's not. I'm not taking this big rock to the very top of the mountain. I'll find another closer by. There you go, stone. May many people look at you and be blessed by your visibility. Our path, I think it's going to go over this side. Is that right, Liz? And Liz knows all the names of the hills.
Well, only the ones that we're going to climb.
You observe them all in your virtual world.
I've got my OS maps downloaded.
OS maps downloaded on the maps onto a phone, so she sorted. Behind me is a really nice view. So,
These little streams and pools. That's where we had lunch yesterday, surrounded by cloud. Let's see what's over that view in a second. We didn't see any of this. Oh, amazing. So I think that's where we're heading. I hope it is. I'm not really any further away. Wow. Here's the view from the top. On Croagh Craggies we had a fairly good view of the surrounding land. We saw the broad back of Broad Cairn like a prehistoric monster lying asleep, oblivious to the wind and to the sun, which was playing hide and seek behind the clouds which were sweeping overhead. We could see the ground sloping deeply to where Loch Muick would be lying, her surface ruffled no doubt, but still wearing that wild serenity typical of many a Highland loch.
wow, they're amazing over there.
It was a pretty boggy hike from the top of Croagh Craggies up to the top of Tolmont, and we arrived there quite unceremoniously. There's a lot of other people around, messaging family to say that we've peaked the first top. Just navigating my way through this bog. We've done Tolmont, come down into this boggy area, and now we're making our way up to Tombuie. We haven't had lunch yet. We are just peaking our weekend on Munro. Stone in the cairn. There behind me is Tolmont, just done. And then we're heading over that way. We might go downhill a bit just to get out the wind to have lunch. What do you think? Yeah?
Yeah.
We're stopping for lunch with this view and some birds flying around us.
Would you like mugshot roast chicken pasta, or would you like the mugshot original curry noodles? So this is a choice. You can actually smell them. That's worrying. Outside the packet, these are our choices, but Liz is going to smell. How can that smell come through the packet? But it does.
I like the curry one.
Okay, I think we've come to amicable agreement. Liz has just chosen, and I get what is left.
We have had our lunch and we're just packing up. We're feeling slightly daunted because we've got 5 miles to go before we get to our next Munro, which will be Mayo. And we think that is it over there, 5 miles away. I think we understand why everybody that we met up at Tolmont was very surprised that we were doing this route. And there isn't really a path. I think nobody does this. Nobody comes from Bendui 5 miles to Mayo. There's no path, and we're going through the boggiest boggy bit. But Ben's right up there. Went that way through. This is kind of good training. We did do the Cape Wrath Trail. No path, lots of bog. Very adventurous. He's calling. We're out of the Boggison bit, and we've come up to the top of a hill. Don't know what hill it is, and we can now see into Glen Knoll. The upper part, maybe it's called something else, and we can see exactly where we walked earlier. Isn't flat, there's just these tufts of grass with bog in between, so you've got to be really careful where you put your feet. So it's like this. Test out before you step. Obviously I'm doing it faster than that normally, but yeah, just to show how uneven the ground is. Ben has just spotted loads of deer. I'm probably not going to be able to capture it on my phone, but they're all running across that hillside there. Let's see if I can zoom in. When we came over the next ridge, Sclatter said, "Are those deer?" and pointed to the lower tops of the ridge opposite. At first I could not make out what he meant, but suddenly I noticed the higher parts dotted with scores of deer, stags, hinds and youngsters, which were all grazing peacefully. I noticed half a dozen quickly moving objects glancing over the peak near the bottom. These were the ones Sclatter had seen. They'd scented us and were seeking the safety of the larger herd. We buy a rock. We like rocks.
Something to sit on, share the wind.
Yeah. And just quest over with that.
finding lots of evidence of the deer.
And lots of frogs and toads. And we're going to, what can we do? We're going to go up there and see what the view is. Hopefully we see Maya from there. Mayor. I think we should call her Joyce. What do you think? You tired?
Yeah, it's hard work.
It is hard work, but it's exciting as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've come up over the top now, and I think we're on a plateau until we start going up that hill there. These are looking a bit big. That's the glen that we came up. This is the direction we've come from, and although it's not sunny right now, the tops of these hills are not in the cloud, which they were yesterday. So we are having amazing luck with the weather. Ben has found an antler in this stream.
So we have an antler here that's 1, 2, could be a 3-year-old or a 2-year-old.
Don't they come off every year?
They do, but you can tell how old the thing is.
Oh, okay.
After 1 year, they only have for one thing. 2
Oh,
years.
okay.
There's like rings on a tray for an antler.
Mm.
So definitely deer around here.
Yes, we saw them. Right. We're not far from the top of Mayor now, but it's good to stop and look at the views, just in case there's change at the top. Don't see why they should, but just in case.
Together.
Together.
We did it. We got to the
We're
top.
at the third Munro of the day. Mayor.
4 to go.
No. 1.
1 to go. I think it's over there. We'll point to it in a minute.
Dreesh.
3 to go. May's here. Should we put the stone on the...
Yeah. Got stone.
And if you follow us over here, the amazing view over to the valleys. We'll put the drone up in a minute. Can you balance on the top? There's quite a pile on here already. Well done, it's a round of applause. It's quite easy when you have a small stone to put on, but if you had another big stone, it might fall off. Over here, there's been quite a challenge, this one. Just getting up the, yeah, it's really good. Ooh, the wind is picking up too.
Here we are at the top of Mayor. You can't hear me for the wind. Ben's got it on his lovely microphone anyway. So we've put a stone on the cairn. Where is the cairn? There it is. And look at the clouds. They look so cool. That's the direction we've come from. Glen Dole that we have been coming up over the last 2 days, and then we're heading for our last Munro of the day over there, which is Dreesh. It's 5:05. It's not too windy. It's become very sunny actually, so we're enjoying the warmth of the sun. refreshments, doing some drone shots, doing some 360 camera shots, and we're on the last leg.
Very pretty over there. Just come down. That's quite steep.
I keep coming across these things. I'm not quite sure what they are. Some of them have got wires on them, so I don't know if they're old fence posts. It's really strange. They've got these little turny things. I guess they're for tightening the wires. It's still incredibly sunny and beautiful. And yesterday this was completely covered in cloud. So I'm so lucky.
Well, we're getting hot again, so we are taking a layer off because we got the last Munro to do over there, up the hill. Not that one, first one, second one. And we're going to be in the sun a lot, and the sun is just amazing. What's the time for 5:30? 6. Could be 6. Really hot. 5:45, it's still really hot. It's going to be a lot of sunlight still, beautiful afternoon, and sunsets at 10. I've said to Liz, will we get back in time for tea, then watch some football? I don't know. I perhaps won't get to watch the England and Spain European final.
We could skip dinner.
No.
We've come to a fork in the road, and we're going to go up this path here. But I think we're not going to follow the route that my dad and his mates did, which is to go down that ridge there and then down some other ridge. And there is a path here which I think most people with the conventional route is to go up to the top and then come back to this point and go down the safe way. So I think that's what we'll do.
We'll do that, whatever's safest.
This bit's amazing because one side of us we've got this incredible corrie or glen. I think this is Corrie Fee. I don't know. I will double check. There's the path we're going to go down later on. Looks scary. These rocks look scary. It's very steep. And then got that the other side. Ooh, this one is quite a steep climb. Oh, I'm glad it's the last one. And that diagonal line down there is where we're going to go back. That's Maya. Right, let's carry on with this steep climb. We are at the top of Dreesh.
Dreesh.
There's a trig point here. Tap the trig point. And that's all four done.
For the day.
Yeah. It's quite an interesting little shelter has been built here. When almost at Dreesh's summit, we could see that there was someone else before us. At the cairn we found a photographer who sounded like an experienced climber. He'd brought 2 cameras with him to get a picture of some of the surrounding hills, but had been disappointed with the weather. Together we picked out such well-known peaks as Ben Aglow and Loch Nagar. Then we said goodbye and set off down the hill. He was wanting to go down Corrie Fee. So he went away towards Maya. I'm seeing some snow and something over there. That's probably the kangaroos. There's another high top over there. To look that up on Earth maps. And one over there as well. Looking like Mount Fujiyama. We're on this descent now. We should be back to the van in about an hour. And we've had fun. Have you enjoyed today?
Loved it, loved it, loved it. And incredible weather as well. I've been so fortunate, it's been brilliant. And amazing views pretty much all day. Enjoying the steep descent this.
We are on a final descent down this steep diagonal path. Scary looking rocks over there. We've had very hot temperatures up here on the way down, and now we're in the shade, but we have run out of water. Have you got any water left? So it'll be nice to get some water and a cup of tea when we get back. We're just getting a drone shot ready of this incredible quarry. And it just goes down at such a sharp angle. It's scary. You can see it better from that angle. Good, but just and I climbed down a mossy gully, and when we reached the foot and looked up, we got a fright. The gully looked almost perpendicular, and we wondered how we'd managed to get down without breaking our necks. Some hills look much steeper from the bottom than they really are. At the end of that treacherous bit.
It was quite angled with lots of big rocks to climb down and black slugs not to slip on.
Yeah, and steep steps.
Steep steps.
And we're still quite far from the van. We reached the glen after crossing a wide stretch of coarse grass. So we need to continue down here, but we're not at that treacherous angle anymore. And yeah, right, we've still got another half an hour. It is 8:30. We're still not back at the van. This trail seems never ending, but the sun is still out. Just enjoying the late sunsets in Scotland. It's nice that the sun's still out, isn't it?
Yeah, so warm.
It is very warm.
Just love the bank of white moss. Half a mile to go. This is a long end, but seems to have been going on for a long time.
There were many stones in the white water, and we forded it with dry feet and landed out on Jock's Road, not far from the lodge, which we reached at about 6:30. Last night I omitted to vlog the final part of our journey, which was arriving back at the van, which we did at about 9:20. So a good hour and 20 minutes past, or hour and a half past what we thought our timing would be. This is where we parked for for the night again, second time, and it's quite close to the car park, so we've been able to use the facilities, and just cleaned up the van. We're having a bit of a rest day today and just thinking about our achievement yesterday, which was a fun challenge. It was definitely more than you would normally do on a Munro trip, doing all 4 in one day and the first 2 being so far apart from the second 2. But it was just, you know, the challenge of doing it 80 years to the day that my dad and his mates did it. So we achieved it and it was fun. We're feeling good and just going to enjoy the rest of our trip in Scotland. The next day, Saturday, we cycled home. A puncture at Dykehead delaying us for only a few minutes.